That's right. I took profits. I'm going to tell you all about it. But before we begin, special shout out to our female viewers tuning in. I've been waiting for accurate data to come through on the channel. Very proud about this. It is over the past month. The channel's officially been running for a month now. And overall, we have 7.3% female audience. It's amazing. I'm happy to see more females getting involved in the financial space. Now, we also do have over a 30% global audience. Amazing stuff. I love to see these numbers. This is unusual for any channel. That's why I say we have the best audience here. We really do. So, moving on to the AMC earnings report. I told you today I'd go into the numbers some more, and we're going to do that. And before the numbers, there's just one last statement on the earnings report that I wanted to read to you. So, quote, our most important single point of focus after ensuring a safe and clean environment for our theaters, guests, and workforce has been to strengthen AMC's liquidity profile. Since March of 2020, we have raised approximately $2.2 billion of gross cash proceeds from new debt and equity capital, securing more than $1 billion of concessions from creditors and landlords, raising more than $80 million from asset sales, and seeking $600 million of convertible notes convert from debt to equity. It's a lot of big numbers. They're securing big chunks of money. It's a good sign. I'm confident that the actions we have taken have positioned us well to capitalize on pent-up demand for movie-going as the rollout of vaccines accelerates. Americans are ready to go back to the movies. We look forward to returning to an environment of unfettered movie theater access for our guests. We're eager to showcase the sizable and widely anticipated slate of new films that our studio partners have to offer. They're talking about their partners right in the report. Below that, we have the numbers. It wasn't organized very well, so I went ahead and put some points of what's important here and just some orange lines to clean things up. So this is the key financial results, and at the top here, what we have is the quarter ended in December. So this whole left half of the table is for the quarter. The right half of the table is for the year. The year ended December. Okay, and within these two, we have 2020, 2019. 2020, 2019, quarter, year. Cool. So the first thing that's of note here is the actual revenue. Let's start with the quarter. So in 2019, and this is in millions, these numbers here, millions. So for example, 162.5 is $162.5 million, all right? So for 2019, they had this much, which is $1.4 billion in revenue for the quarter ending December 2019. The quarter ending December 2020 only had $162.5 million. That is a substantial loss of revenue, unfortunately, from the restrictions. Yeah, it's at 88.8% decline in revenue. For the year, it's nearly just as bad. So for 2019, they had $5.4 billion in revenue. For 2020, they had $1.2 billion. It's a 77% decline. That's 10 was Denwo's favorite number. Anyway. Next, the adjusted free cash flow is some importance, okay? Because they have been picking up some more steam in their financial statements. So the quarter 2019, 303 million. And the quarter 2020, it's actually 358 million. So it's increased. And same as for the year. So the year 2019, the adjusted free cash flow is 360 million roughly. For 2020, it increased a lot more to 1.2 billion. Those are pretty good numbers. They have a lot more cash flow over the year of 2020 than they did for 2019, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a quick calculator here and just give you a percentage of this because it's just stated in the actual millions of dollars difference. So starting with the quarter, we have 358 million divided by 303 million. So their cash flow, adjusted free cash flow for the quarter over the year, last year, increased by 1.18 multiple. I'll do the same for the year. We have 358, or excuse me. We're going to start with the bigger number here. So $1.1 billion for the year 2020 divided by the free cash flow for the year 2019, smaller number, 358 million, is a 3.33 multiple difference. So they have 3.33 times more of the adjusted free cash flow for the year 2020 than they did in 2019. Cool. Next is the attendance, and those in thousands. All right, but the very important part here is the percentage. I'll read the attendance anyways, attendance statistics. So for the quarter, once more, we had an extreme decline from 92,000, so 92 million down to 8 million. And that's a 91% decrease. That's the important part. Okay. The attendance dropped dramatically throughout the restrictions, throughout the lockdowns, etc. So, and then for the year, it's a 78% decrease in attendance, 2019, 2020. Hopefully that recovers soon. Those theaters are mostly reopened now, right now. They're also implementing their streaming services. And then below here, there's more data about the balance sheet if you're interested in that. I'm not going to cover that today. Now, before we get into the technical analysis, deep dive, let's talk about Denwo's profits. I posted this video February 22nd. It's about GME. I drew a happy little tree. Happy little tree extended as high as $255. From the buy box, the entry at $40, that was a 500% move. That's why I took some profits. It was a GME trade. It was a swing trade, 500% in a matter of a week or two. I'm happy with taking a little bit off the table, alright. It's a good lesson there because I was able to recoup the initial investment, so there's no risk in this trade anymore. I got out what I put into it, so now there's just some extra shares on the table, and I'm planning to hold on to those for long-term higher prices. Here's a YouTube trading portfolio update. There's not much to actually show off. There hasn't been any big changes here. AMC is still up 16.57% from the entries at $10 and $8. Cost average 8.75. The others are down 5%. SNDL, okay, Sundial's only down 1.39%. That's recovered a lot over the past couple days this week. It was below $1 not very long ago. Now it's up to $1.42. Sundial's starting to potentially take off again. And I do expect these other assets to follow. This is a chart that I posted a long time ago on NAKD. I do plan to show more of this in the live stream on Monday morning, 30 minutes before the markets open. I wanted to show you again because we like to be early on these assets, and I've had this purple buy box here for quite some time. We expected this correction from the breakdown of this trend line. Now it's exactly where I would want to enter at. Okay, cool. And that's not the only good trade going on. I did enter another position the other day, and we've been discussing and strategizing about it in Discord. All our members, all our awesome community members. It's a great conversation going on out there. You're all welcome to join. We're having a good time. I'm posting member-only videos over the weekends too, as well as exclusive charts, but this chart was too good. So I've been posting this on TradingView. I published this on TradingView, our long-term AMC chart. If you're interested, following along with this over time, it's kind of neat because you can click this button down here and it'll actually load the new candle bars, the new price action as time goes on. I will go ahead and pin a link down below for this so you can check it out. We have the MACD on here too. It's still bullish momentum. The target for this is a long-term swing trade idea, as you know. So the target is sold all-time high, essentially. It doesn't mean it's the end of the run per se. AMC is pivoting into a bigger technology type of play here. It's going beyond the lockdown recovery play now. There are talks of Amazon buyout. And with the online streaming services, who knows how high it could really go. Netflix had a gigantic run up for a few years when they were getting started with that whole thing. And I also added some due diligence here. So I will go ahead and read that for you real quick. So the earnings report states theaters continue to reopen across the United States and internationally. Many Americans are wanting to go back to the movies with their friends. AMC has been oversold for essentially the entire year of 2020. Even before that, really, AMC's been oversold for a long time. Check out all this sideways action. That's below the long-term support lines. So AMC has been oversold for a very, very long time. Also, during the restrictions, their profits shrank to nearly zero. Their website has been updated frequently in regards to their streaming services. There's rumors about the Amazon buyout of AMC in the future. AMC continues to advance into a technology company investment. It's not everyone's necessarily looking at it as a squeeze play anymore. There's some serious investors taking big positions in this company. Of course, the gigantic wedge breakout has much higher targets than the current price. It's a long-term hold swing trade idea. The entry is currently under $10. However, our long-term viewers entered much lower than that. We had a very nice entry at $5.40. This is the current entry. And the first target is conservatively at $12. Second's at $15. That would be closing the gap officially. Third's $20 at the local high up here of the breakout where this first arrow ends. That's the third target, and the fourth is $35 at the old all-time high. And here's the actual chart. So instead of removing things, I'm gonna add some things back this time. I would like to analyze this chart a little more on the higher time frame. It is very simplistic and easy to understand right now, but perhaps we can find some more indications of where this might be headed. So let's start with the VPVR because there's something of note here. There's a lack of volume over here, lack of volume bars on the right hand side of the screen. And these volume bars are essentially representing the volume, right? So if I turn on the normal volume, like so, down here, these represent the volume as well. This is what most people talk about when they're discussing volume, but we like to stay one step ahead of the market. So we're going to combine the two actually. So this is a normal volume, and essentially it's all the bars. The biggest difference between the VPVR and the normal volume, these bars are vertical. These are vertical volume bars. So at the bottom of the screen, we have the date, the time. There's a time price chart, time bottom price on the other side. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is this is horizontal volume. That's the difference. Horizontal bars, vertical bars. It's a very complex concept, and I studied graphs and charts in math for years in college in advanced math courses, and it took me a long time to truly fully understand the axes on the graphs, difference between those. Remember just how different the inverse chart looks by simply flipping that one axis. Okay. So by doing that same sort of technique with the volume indicator and flipping that horizontally, it shows us a way different indication, essentially. It's not enough on its own, but with the two combined, it is a nice hint. And we're seeing the lack up here. So essentially, it's the volume bars on the price action. Since this axis is the price action going up. So the further up the price goes, the less volume there is. which can lead to big moves. When the volume dries up like that on the price, there's not many buyers and sellers up in this all-time high area, so things can get very volatile. See some extreme moves up in that range. It'll be interesting to see what happens to AMC once it does climb up here. And I am that confident that long term this is going to return to its fair value. Right now it's still been bashed down over and over again. Bashed down over again. So this asset has been smashed down by the hedge funds, been short laddered over and over for years since, let's see, February of 2017 is over here. So it's been a long time that AMC's been just getting destroyed. And people are waking up to it. There's a lot of smart people out there. And we're all talking about it on social media. So it's good to share information, and when you realize that it's essentially just the hedge funds that crashed this asset, and then it's the retail investors leading into a recovery for this great American company, it starts to make sense in the long term. This is much more than just a beautiful chart. The fundamentals are bullish. And check out all the volume coming through just on the normal indicator for the weekly chart. So that's a weekly volume bar. Very large volume bar. Indicators are nice as well. I think these lines are from a higher time frame, but continues bullish momentum on the weekly bars. 4 hours still green. Daily's going a little bit sideways, but that's fine. The moving averages are riding on top of each other here at a cross. A little bit of a golden cross on that. Shorter time frames are red. AMC didn't have much intraday price action, but I'll show you that too. Just turning off the volume. See how the moving averages are doing on the weekly chart. They're absolutely pointing upwards. This move could take a little bit of time to play out, potentially a couple months to reach up to $20. This is in April and May over here. Could take a little time on the higher time frames to really see some more climbing higher before a real breakout. People are excited though. Over the weekend there will probably be a lot of discussion about this asset and GameStop. So perhaps early next week we'll see some pretty big moves up heading towards $15. That would completely close the gap down here. And we see a lot of price action back in this box. So this is our sell box. The other chart from the shorter time frames. here is the sell box right here. But I'm going to drag it over. It's still going to stay there. So this is our day trading chart for day traders. And it is riding on top of many of these moving averages. You see this red moving average underneath, and the candle closed right above it. It's an indecision candle. Seeing a lot of those lately. Could go either way, right? But we have all this support down here, and we were expecting some sort of resistance up in this area. So there's really no surprises here. This blue squiggly line between the channel has been there from way back in this area. We drew it out during one of the live streams, and it is following that almost exactly. The price is certainly riding within this channel, ascending channel, and it's very close to the bottom of this channel. So I would anticipate a bounce in the near future down around all this support, if not already up here with all the excitement surrounding this asset. You can see it's above the moving averages on nearly every time frame. That's the 30-minute. It's above some more on the 15-minute. It's just this one white one above it. 4-hour, very sharp. So it's clear that it's within the channel, and we still need to break through some of these resistances and close the gap. We need to close the gap up here. It never fully made it to the end of the gap in this area. Once it does close that, could see some selling coming through. People are in profits now from way back, their lower entries. So I do expect continued selling throughout all of these targets and resistances. There's going to be a lot of chop ahead. The key is to stay calm and patient. Now, as for GME, like I said, took some profits, guys, at the end of the tree, all the way up around $300. It was like $275 or something. Must have been the top of this wick right here, this green wick. Reason being, this is the indecision candle, the red one from right before. So it could go either way, and we did not see a continuation upwards currently. It did continue the selling pressure from this upper wick, and it easily could come lower. We just saw a massive run up on GME. It broke out of the wedge and went a whole 170% to the green side. That's a very large move for just a couple days. It makes sense to see some profit taking up here. People who entered way down at the buy box and $40. It's a very large move. Remember, people did enter way lower than $40 as well, down around $10 before the breakout even started in the first place. I mean, that is a massive move. 500 plus, 600, 700% even. It's a lot of profits. This thing could come down temporarily before it finds more support and more buyers. Once people decide that it's at a more reasonable entry price. I'm not sure how many people are excited to buy GME at $260 right now. It appears that if they were going to buy up here, they possibly already did buy in at a lower price. There's another bearish factor in GME right now. You know, I keep it real here. No moon boys. This is what the charts are saying. If I take our wedge, the upper wedge, and just make it parallel, just duplicate it and move it up to the very top of the breakout, the 1.618. Man, that really does line up perfectly. So essentially what we have here, my friends, is a wedge within our wedge. I know. Crazy stuff. GME is extremely difficult to chart right now. Not many YouTubers, streamers, or traders are even attempting to chart this asset seriously. They're scared to even give you guys predictions about where GME might be headed. I'm not scared to give you predictions. This is what I'm seeing. I've seen patterns like this before, but this is this is rare. This is rare. It's difficult to chart. It moves very fast. People's portfolios are getting wrecked and blown up every day. So just be careful thinking about entering at high prices. Even if it does go down, if some sort of bearish case plays out here, it may not. Okay, I'm not trying to burst anyone's bubble. GME is a great asset. If you just entered, it's okay. There's still a good chance that it will break out of this other resistance trend line soon. We saw it right back here. Check this out. The candles look very similar right at the resistances. So if I zoom way in, this candle right here, the wicks on both sides, and it's a green candle, it looks exactly like this one right here, pushing up on the resistance, pushing up on the resistance. See that? So after that, it broke right out and went on a huge run. That could easily happen here. I'm definitely not saying GME is going down right now. It is trending up strongly, and it broke out from our first wedge. It's just that people are taking profits. So the question is, how low is it gonna go? Is there enough excitement right now on GME to push it through this upper resistance? We're gonna have to see. Even when it does, there's going to be a lot of chop. Let's say it did break out straight from there and just go on another intense shot upwards. There's going to be a lot of chop. People are going to take profits up here too. And it'll likely come back down quite a bit. It could even come back down and retest the breakout of this trend line. the bigger wedge that's beginning to form here. You couldn't even draw this wedge. Let's show you. You couldn't even draw this wedge before the candle just came in, that last green candle, because there was nowhere to put it along this red wick. It doesn't match up when you try and put it here. It doesn't match up. Whoa. You could have put it here, but there's no reason to do that. We didn't have any other touches alongside it. And you couldn't put it up here. It's not useful down here. You could put it right here with these touches. But it's not useful. It's very close to our other wedge, so it doesn't tell us anything. It's only now with this last green candle that I can put it there. And sure, you could put it here, but then it's not parallel with our wedge. So we need it to be parallel with the other wedge. And that's where it lines up. So it really could go down from here temporarily. And if it does, it could bounce anywhere. That's the moves we're seeing in GME. It could bounce off the 0.618 if it's super bullish. It could bounce off the 0.5 fib. If it's pretty bullish, it can bounce off the 0.382 fib. If it's fairly bullish, or it could bounce off the 0.236. If it's still bullish, okay. It's a tough thing to trade. So make sure to hit that subscribe button for more AMC and GME technical analysis updates. Thanks guys. Happy trading. Have a great day.